I think we can get started. So hello again to those that were already there, and welcome to our new joiners. So today's session will be dedicated to starting and scaling the social intelligence program. So we have amazing guests with us that we will introduce in a minute. But a few housekeeping points before we start. So this session should last about 40 minutes, and then we'll take 10 minutes at the end to answer any questions you may have, and we'll try to give you some of your time back at the end. So please don't be shy and ask your question as we go into the chat. We'll make sure to answer them at the end. And as a follow-up, you can expect to receive the recording of this session by tomorrow. So let's start with introducing today's speaker, and I'm handing it over to Alan, who will moderate this conversation.
Thank you, Robin. Thanks everyone for joining. So this is Alan Bondi, and I want to welcome you to Social Insights from Brand Leaders. So Synthesio's been on like a 15-year journey looking at social, thinking about how we blend in other data, turning it into insights. And so much of what we've learned has really come from our discussions with our clients and learning from lots of amazing brands around the globe. So I'm so excited to bring 4 of them together in this special event, really to talk about what they've learned, what the top tips are, maybe what they would have done differently if they knew today, or then what they know today. But this is going to be an active discussion. I know I'm going to learn a ton. Hopefully you will as well. And since there's lots to cover, let's dig right in. And given the variety of use cases, right, that people are using social data, they're using AI in so many different ways, I thought it'd be helpful to start off by having each of the panelists introduce themselves, a little bit about their role, maybe a word or two on their primary use case or their favorite use case, and then we'll sort of dig into how they've started their program, what are top tips for starting a social intelligence program, what works for scaling it up, right? How do you drive adoption beyond the core insights or analytics teams? Maybe most importantly, how do you get budget and keep that budget? And then we're going to get into futures a little bit in terms of how AI can help, what the future holds. So I think this is going to be a fun conversation, but let's start with a little bit on each of the panelists, what they're focusing on and what's their top use case. Rosa, let's start with you.
Sure. So my name is Rosa Halford. I'm a Global Insight Manager at Asahi Europe and International. My main kind of day-to-day is leading primary research for our kind of above market strategy planning and insight team. So that would be supporting our global brands such as Peroni Nestra Azzurro, Asahi Superdry, Cazelle, Pilsner Urquell and Guelph. And then also kind of above market innovations in categories like hard seltzer and flavored alcoholic beverages. In terms of how we're using social listening, our kind of main use cases, so I lead on our partnership with Synthesio as our sort of global in-house social intelligence program. And I think the main use cases for us so far, it's kind of evolving every year, but I think the main ones for us have been fundamentally audience and market understanding, a bit of trends, some light touch brand monitoring, and I think we can talk a bit more about that later, and then crisis monitoring. So a bit of a patchwork spread. I think we've got our fingers in a few different pies in how we use social data, but yeah, that's a bit of a flavor of how we're using it today.
Awesome. How about you, Jaakko?
Hi everyone, and greetings from Finland. I'm Jaakko Ylisipola, working at Fortum, European energy company, and I lead our social media strategy and social media development, and that of course also includes social listening. And we currently started our 4th year with Synthesio, and our maybe 2 of the primary use cases for us is the situational awareness. As you know, the war in Ukraine has kind of tremendously increased the discussion about energy in general, and of course energy companies, especially in Europe. So situational awareness, crisis communications, crisis preparedness is definitely one of the main use cases for us. And like Rosa said, we can talk more about that and dig in deeper later. And then the other main use case is, of course, the content creation, understanding what people are talking about different topics. Let's say that we are planning a content on wind power, then we use Synthesio to really understand what audiences are talking and how we can tailor then our own content to fulfill their needs.
Awesome. Maybe keeping with the energy theme. John, how about you?
Hi everyone. So I'm John, and I'm a failed rock star based in the UK, as you can probably tell from my background, and then I turned to analytics. So I look after digital analytics and also SEO in Shell's corporate relations function. But a lot of the technology that we're accountable for, we give access to anyone in Shell, any of the companies that within the business. So as you can imagine, Shell is quite a large company, and it's like a conglomerate of many companies. So we have quite a few topics to analyze and quite a few use cases as well for social listening. I've been in digital analytics roles for the last 11 plus years now. And the team I lead covers social listening, social media content analysis, search analysis, and also website content analysis. However, the broader team that I sit in, and this is quite a privilege to be in this position, is also responsible for even more data, for example, opinion research, news media monitoring. And one of the things that we try to do as a larger analytics function is to bring together and to integrate data from all these different data sources, because what we know is that no single data source answers all the questions. You actually have to bring everything together. So we've got a number of primary data use cases for social listening in particular, and that ranges from like a few have already mentioned already. So audience analysis, topic analysis, where we'll do things like measure societal interest around our company strategy and the themes relating to the company strategy, but we'll look at those topics as well to drive things like content development. As others have already mentioned as well, use cases and applications like issues and crisis analysis, campaign analysis, and we do a lot of brand health analysis as well at local market level, but also at a global level as well. So it's great to be here and looking forward to the conversations about to happen.